Welcome into the Broncos Breakdown. On today's show, we're going to touch on 3 stories for you guys. The first one being, Aaron Rodgers. We talked about him a lot, but he was informally asked about a trade when he was golfing in Scottsdale. Producer Jack right now from the area, so we talked about that, and it's pretty funny. Credit to Zach Stevens, who talked about it first, but then we get into the latest coaching staff updates. We'll look at what the next Broncos coaching staff will look like, and then finally we'll wrap up the show by looking at who the next owner could be, because it looks like we've got a horse in front of the pack here for the next owner of the Denver Broncos. First, though, Aaron Rodgers. So he's golfing at the Waste Management Phoenix Open this week in Scottsdale. That makes sense. And some fans yelled out to him after a tee shot saying, "Come to Denver," to which he responded, "We'll see." That's all I need. I'll take that. You can speak it into existence for me. If we just get 3 words, a hyphen kind of, "we'll see," fine by me. Shout out to whoever you were that yelled "come to Denver," because you gave me a story today in the middle of a Super Bowl week when the Broncos aren't playing, and I wish they were. So sure, we're kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel a little bit, but still, it's Aaron Rodgers, and I'll do anything it takes to get him from Green Bay to Denver. I've been pretty strong on that point, even if it costs a haul, and we'll look at a mock trade later on. I'm all for it. No take-backsies, done deal. In ink, this is over with. So, Aaron Rodgers, you are coming to Denver. We will arrange a convoy. We'll let people drive you if you want. We'll help the movers. We'll unpack. We'll take shifts. Whatever it has to get done to get Aaron Rodgers to Denver, I'll lead the charge. I'll start the mythological GoFundMe to even make that happen, because I just want to see a better quarterback play for the Broncos finally since Peyton Manning left, and this is a roster that is ready to win right now. Not just win games, win playoff games, win Super Bowls. And Aaron Rodgers, I think, gives the Broncos the best chance to do that. We'll get to the rest of Rodgers in just a second, but if you guys have not subscribed to the channel already, please do so and help us reach 6,000 subscribers. We're right there just about before the end of the month, all right? And if you're new, how about you go ahead and subscribe and then type me down below, and I'm going to give you a shout out on the next Broncos Breakdown. So subscribe, comment me, and then you get a shout out on the next show. Sounds like a pretty good deal to me. Help us reach 6,000 subscribers before the month is up. Let's get back to Aaron Rodgers, though. Athletes love to do this, and what do I mean by this? Well, they know when they're the center of attention, and right now Aaron Rodgers is the center of attention, and he can read the room a little bit and have a little fun, and he knows just by saying, "We'll see," just by feeding us a little bit, giving us an inch, I'll run a mile with it. I'm guilty of it. I'm doing it right now. But he knows this. Athletes know this. Athletes love to do this. Like Kyler Murray, just deleting stuff from his social media, and here we are setting the world on fire. Does Kyler Murray want to trade? Athletes like to do this in the offseason. Just kind of puts their name up in the Twitter search feed, sees him trending, and then it dies back down again. Speaking of Rodgers, though, do you want the Broncos to go out and trade for Aaron Rodgers? Give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Curious if you'd like to go get Rodgers, or maybe you want to stick with Drew Lock. Maybe you think a new coaching staff can revitalize him and get him back to what we all wanted him to be, which was a deep threat, huge arm, pocket passer quarterback, and just hasn't turned out that way. So going back to Rodgers, though, this is a mock trade I put together in the lab. I know it's a lot, but if it did happen, I think it would look something like this. Broncos get Aaron Rodgers, a 7th-round draft pick, which I think will become a Hall of Famer, knowing the Broncos' luck. And then the Packers, they get a good haul, and they're going to want a good haul because a lot of teams will be calling for Rodgers if he's on the trade market. A 1st and a 2nd this year. That's the 9th overall pick, keep in mind. 2023, 1st and 2nd. Drew Lock and Tim Patrick. I'm guessing they'll want Jerry Jeudy. I don't want to give up Jerry Jeudy, so I'm going to put Tim Patrick there instead. Sorry, Timmy. You're a unsung hero on this Broncos team. You're the glue guy. If the party runs out of beer, Tim Patrick's the one that goes to pick it up kind of guy, but I just don't want to part ways with Jeudy just yet. I know that that's a lot of pieces to give up for one person, but this is Aaron Rodgers we're talking about. He's likely going to be the back-to-back MVP. He's 38 years old. But still, look what Tom Brady's doing at his age, or what he was doing, I guess. And I fully believe Aaron Rodgers has another big contract left in him. 4 to 5 years. If he plays like the last 2 years, that has to result in a Super Bowl. Over 8,000 yards. That's on average 4,200 yards a season, 85 touchdowns, only 9 interceptions. 9 interceptions. This is like from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. 9 times. That's how few interceptions he's had in the last 2 years. So if there's a way to get that to Denver, I'm all for it. Before we get to our next story on today's show, what do you guys have in the Super Bowl, by the way? I haven't asked this yet, and I want to know what you guys are thinking. Rams or Bengals? Personally, I'd like to see the Rams go out and win. Good chunk of me is because of Von Miller, right? To see him get another Super Bowl ring would be pretty sweet. The Broncos do have the Rams pick, and after the Broncos traded Von Miller to the Rams, I said I want to see the Rams lose to get a better second or third round pick. But if the Rams make the playoffs, at that point, why don't just go win the Super Bowl? And that's exactly what's going to happen potentially. I don't care if it's the second to last or the last pick in the second round. Get Von another ring. Now, let's talk about Nathaniel Hackett's staff coming together. He's made a handful of hires already, and he cannot make the rest of them until the Super Bowl is up because a couple of guys coaching in the Super Bowl are projected to be joining Hackett's staff. So, here is Hackett's coaching staff, and the numbers at the bottom, that's how old they are. So, you can kind of read the tea leaves of the direction Hackett has been going and kind of the Broncos front office, I guess. But Hackett, head coach, Justin Outten, the former tight end coach in Green Bay, comes over to be the OC. Evero, who's currently the DC with the Rams, is expected to be the defensive coordinator for the Broncos. Same for Stukes, who's the assistant special teams coach / coordinator in LA. He's expected to be the special teams coordinator for the Broncos. Then we get kind of into the weeds a little bit of some smaller names in the coaching carousel, but still names in the coaching carousel. So Klint Kubiak will be the QB coach. He comes over from Minnesota. The Broncos retain Azzanni. I like that move a lot, actually. And another move we'll talk about in a moment, wide receiver coach. Butch comes over to be the O-line coach. Chris Kuper, the assistant O-line coach. Running back coach still up for grabs right now. Chris Modkins re-interviewed to get his old job back, I guess you could say, with Denver. But he's also got an interest from Minnesota and the Giants. So maybe he goes on elsewhere. Other 5 coaches that are inked so far are expected to come on over. Peter Hansen, the linebacker coach. Mike Mallory, the assistant special teams coordinator. Ben Steele, the offensive quality control coach, who had a lot of people raving about because he, believe it or not, cost Aaron Rodgers' first ever touchdown pass. That's right, it was a preseason touchdown pass, and Ben Steele was the one that caught it. So if that means Aaron Rodgers wants to reunite with his old favorite tight end from preseason, fine by me. Christian Parker, DB coach, and Justin Rascati, the offensive quality control coach. That's a name people are really keeping an eye on for, so I'm happy to see him sticking around. With that all being said, though, are you buying in on the new coaching staff? Let me know what you think. Give me an I for in or an O for out. I like it a lot, but a little part of me was, and I don't know, it's a little part of me, a decent size, right? That sounds weird to say, though. This was a Broncos team that didn't need a full rebuild, so I would like to see some of the pieces from the last regime stay over because there were a lot of positives about this team last year, just a couple negatives at very important spots that kind of dragged him down. Before we get to the last topic of today's show, I want to tell you about the awesome deal going on at Fanatics. Gentlemen, fellas, Valentine's Day is right around the corner, and why don't you get your lady a very nice deal that's going on at Fanatics. Look at this awesome kind of a night set sweatpants and tank top. 30% off when you go to chatsports.com/BroncosVDay. Use that link. It's in the comments and the description of today's show. Listen, you don't want to put it off, and you definitely don't want Valentine's Day to come around and have her look around and go, "Did you get me something?" And then you say, "I thought you said we weren't doing presents this year." And she says, "Yeah, well, it's just that. I think it's funny." Don't be on the other end of that conversation. So just get the present now. Plus, this way, there's no argument for her. She doesn't like watching football on Sundays to watch Broncos games with you because you could say, "Babe, why don't you just wear that awesome gift I gave you for Valentine's Day?" Sounds like a pretty good deal to me. Let's get into the last topic of today's show. So this could be the next Broncos owner. The Broncos team was officially put up for sale, and Byron Allen, that's right, household name, right? Of course he is. Well, he owns the Allen Media Group, and you probably don't know that, and I didn't know that, but I did some research to learn who it was. And that owns the Weather Channel, and also, my opinion, most notably, part of a group that owns another group that produced the movie 47 Meters Down. If you don't remember, that was a shark movie that came out like 6 or 7 years ago, And I hated it. Like, I was very disappointed. I went to the theaters, I got popcorn, I got everything, and the movie kind of stunk. So for that reason, I'm out on Byron. My official statement. The Broncos, though, are worth roughly $4 billion, so it's going to cost a pretty penny to buy this team. So that's why I would likely be a part of an ownership group. However, he would make some NFL history as he would become the league's first majority black owner. Byron Allen was asked about this, and here was his official statement. He said, Roger Goodell and Robert Kraft came to me in November 2019 and asked me to take a good look at buying an NFL team. After serious consideration, I strongly believe I can effectuate positive changes throughout the league. And for that reason, I'll be making a bid for the Denver Broncos. Well, Byron, for that reason, because of your horrible 47 meters down movie, I'm out. But I also just want Peyton Manning to be the next Broncos owner for really two big reasons. One, I at least know his name, so I feel like smarter talking about him, whereas Byron Allen, like, I'm not going to pretend to be like, oh, I've always followed Byron Allen for my whole life. Apparently used to be a comedian, though, so that's kind of cool. I like comedians. And Peyton Manning just knows more football than anyone else, right? You couldn't really make an argument with someone who knows football better than Peyton Manning. So I like to – oh, Tom Brady, my producer, tells me. Maybe not. So I'd like to see Manning be the next owner. Let's have a little fun, though. Let's wrap up the show with this question. What would you do if you owned the team? If you were the owner – what would you do, like your first, order of business? For me, / Jackie Moon, free corn dogs. Free corn dogs for anyone. Anyone and everyone that is in attendance and the Broncos score more than 35 points. Free corn dogs, Jackie. Free corn dogs for all these people. Great movie. That's a good movie. Okay, Semi-Pro, good movie. 47 meters down, not a good movie. I'd rather have Will Ferrell maybe be the next owner because he makes good movies. Just put that out there. But think about it. Some food for thought. All right, we'll catch up with you guys later here on the Broncos Breakdown. Until then, go Broncos.